the Woody Allen story. In earlier years, he had a really terrific casting director. Of course, I can't remember her name anymore, but she was just great. And I wasn't famous, but I had a solid acting career. I'd been on Broadway a couple of times. I was getting some TV jobs. The casting director thought that I was the right type for Woody Allen films. And my agent called me and he said, "Look, Alix, I don't want this to throw you, but when you go in on this audition, it may look like Woody Allen is not in the room, but he'll be hiding in the closet or under the desk. He will be there." So I said, "What?" And he said, my agent said, Mr. Allen is uncomfortable meeting actors face to face, but he wants to see them live, not like on videotape or film or anything. So he's taken to hiding in a cupboard and just peeking out through a little hole without the actors realizing that he's there. And he thought that the actors would be more natural interacting with this lovely casting director. But unfortunately, since my agent had told me this, all I could think about at the audition was looking around trying to find out where he was hiding. And I never figured it out. I mean, as far as I could tell, I was just there alone with the casting director. So that probably, affected my naturalness, and I didn't get the part. And then one day I had the interview and I got the part. I was thrilled. They said it was a small part, just one line, but it was a Woody Allen film, so of course I said yes. I'd finally get to meet him. I was sure this was a match made in heaven. But they wouldn't tell me the name of the film because it turned out that they never told anybody the names of the film. They just would call it Summer Project 1998 or 2005 or whatever the date was. And that's even what it said on your checks when you got paid. I mean, it wasn't until I went to the wardrobe fitting that I found out that the film was period. Early 1930s, something like that. And I wore a hat and a period-y looking dress. It was all perfectly fine. And they gave me my line. So my line was the answer to a question. Now, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was something like, I hadn't really thought about that, or I'm not sure, something neutral, but which would become meaningful depending on what the question was. But they forgot to give me the question. So, the day comes, the big day rolls around, and we're on location. It's the lobby of an Art Deco office building in Lower Manhattan. I'm in the costume, I have my line, I'm gonna meet Woody Allen, and he shows up. He's short, slight, his hair is dyed a kind of a reddish color. I say, "Hi," and he grunts non-committally. The AD, that's the assistant director, shepherds me into position, and I say, "What's my cue? What's the question? I'm answering a question, right?" And Woody Allen looks at me with total disgust and says, "You don't need to know that. I know that. You don't." I'm taken aback. "Just say it," he says nastily. "Say the line." So I say the line. 10 times, 20 times, it's endless. Mr. Allen is not happy with me and he lets me know it. But he can't explain to me what it is he wants me to do or give me the question. I start to hate him. I've gone from hero worship to loathing in under an hour. My line reading has gone from tentative to wooden. I'm humiliated, mortified. He treats me like I'm some anonymous amateur that can't be trusted with the script. Finally, he slithers away. I'm so upset, I never go see another Woody Allen film again, ever, including this one. I never did find out the name of it. I guess actors in his films just have to go see every Woody Allen film after that in order to find out the one they're in. And I don't even know if I'm still in it or if I ended up on the cutting room floor. So the moral of this story is, be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. So I'm here with Christine McBurney. We met on this weird Amy Schumer film, Kinda Pregnant, which I believe is coming out next February, but I think we're not in it anymore. So, Christine, so you've had an acting, directing career in Ohio?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Good, yeah.
So what I really wanted to talk about was location. And so when you were in Ohio, how did you get those acting jobs? Did you apply online, or how did that work?
Yeah, well, I was in Cleveland, and Cleveland has several talent agencies. It used to be a big industrial town, so a lot of actors made work doing industrials.
Oh, okay.
I did one or two, but as we all know, that's gone by the wayside. So I got them through my agents there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, why did you decide to move to New York?
I don't know. I just thought, I'm just going to go for it.
When you got here, how did you approach representation or getting auditions, or how did that work out for you?
I found a manager pretty quickly. She was recommended to me, and I had applied to her once before, but I was living in Cleveland, and she said, no, you have to be here.
Right.
So I contacted her again, sent her my materials, and I was non-union. I had no TV credits, but I had just enough little piecemeal work in Ohio, with background on film, commercial, voiceover. I had just enough, I think, for her to say, take a chance. Say, okay. So I signed with her, and things happened.
So you have a manager, you work for a manager now, or an agent, or both?
I added an agent, so now I have both.
Explain to me about self-submitting. What does that mean?
Well, self-submitting means you find the breakdowns online yourself, the ones that they release to the public, because a lot of them go through managers and agents, and we never see them. But if you see something you're right for, you can self-submit.
And you pay for that, right?
You have a membership on Actors Access, which is like $60 a year.
Right.
So it's affordable.
Okay.
Or Casting Networks.
Okay.
Which is like the cheapest version of that is now $10 a month, I think.
Okay.
They're
you
always
pay monthly, or do you
I
pay
just
by
pay.
the year?
I just pay by the year.
Okay. So you're here. You've got a manager. You're getting some auditions, and how is that working out?
Well, as you know, we're coming off a strike, so it's really been slow. When I first got here, I was out of the gate. I went from job to job to job for a year, and I thought, it's always going to be like this.
What kind of jobs?
2 TV co-stars, a film which ironically shot in Ohio. I got that. I know. I moved to New York, and all of a sudden I'm very attractive in Ohio. My Ohio agents got me that. Alto Nights, Robert De Niro, coming out in March.
Oh, great.
And then a couple print jobs in Ohio, a couple theater jobs in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
And then some stuff here too, like independent films.
But because you were in New York, you probably seemed more valuable to them, right?
We used to always complain about work. We used to complain about that in Cleveland, and it really, I think a little bit is true.
Yeah. It's a status thing.
It is.
What would you say? Do you think it's worth it for actors, aspiring actors, or actors who are working in these smaller markets to come to New York and take that?
There's all this talk about studios leaving the coast and filming everywhere and anywhere where the tax credits are cheaper.
Yeah.
So in a way, and self-taping everything, I booked everything from tape. I've not been in person except for a commercial.
Yeah.
You would think that people could live anywhere, and I wish they could, but you really do have to be in the industry towns, I think, to book those. I mean, if you're, production's always changing dates. If you book a flight, last minute, you're paying a fortune, and then you've got to change it, and then the fitting is moved, and then
you've
and
got
then
to
you
pay
lose
for a
the
hotel
job.
room.
Yeah, you got and then you lose the job, you lose credibility with your agent.
Yeah.
So I wish the industry would catch up. And look, everybody's living everywhere today.
Yeah.
I wish we could all live where we wanted,
Right.
and just come into town when we book work.
But you know, the town, so New York City. But the other alternative is LA. Have you ever worked out of LA or?
I have not. I've
Yeah.
not, and I do get submitted there because my agency is by Coastal.
Oh, great.
Yeah, which
That's
is
a plus.
really
Yeah.
great, and I would love to work there. I have couches to sleep on, and
Right.
you know, I will say I'm a little higher.
Oh yeah. So you have to sort of network with other actors
Yes.
so that you can stay on their couch if you
Yes.
happen to be in,
Yes,
you know,
Yes.
LA and you don't have an apartment there.
right, and you have to get yourself.
So
hopefully-
that's another strategy.
right, and hopefully you get points, get a credit card with points,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can book some free flights.
Right. The other thing I wanted to ask you about was the unions.
Mhm.
Now you joined the union.
I did. I had to.
You had to.
Yes.
You got a job and you had to join the
Yeah,
union, right?
I booked 2 TV co-stars a month apart, very close
Uh-huh.
together, and then in order to do a third SAG production,
Yeah.
I would have to be union. So I joined. I probably could have waited,
Yeah.
but then I might not have gotten the audition
Right.
that I booked
That
and met
we
you
did,
on.
yeah.
So there is that sweet spot where you
Yeah.
can stay SAG eligible,
Right.
and then join when you really have to. I think on the third job.
Okay.
Google this. I'm not sure it's right, but I think it is.
Yeah.
But I just went ahead and did it after the second job.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's expensive, isn't it? To join.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Yeah. Like, you know, over $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But they have a credit union. You can take out a loan.
Oh, okay. I heard that, for example, that their commercials are using more and more non-union people, and that came out of the actors' strike against the commercial people.
Yeah.
And so the commercial people got used to using non-union
Yeah.
people. So it kind of backfired on us. But
Yeah.
I think it's still better. I mean, personally, I think it's better to be in the unions than
Oh,
not.
yeah. I mean, protections and contributions to health and pension. And
Right.
just crafty. Alex and I love crafty
Yeah,
snacks.
we did.
Kind of pregnant.
That's the craft services, which has little food and snacks for the actors.
Oh,
in
they
the-
had good
while
stuff.
you're shooting. Some are better than others,
Yeah.
but the kind of pregnant one was.
It was
We enjoyed
exceptional.
that.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
I think
great.
it's a wrap.